Sarah Robinson here with Chicago Film News. Today we are so lucky to get to talk with Betsy Steinberg with Kartemquin Films. First of all, I want to say congratulations. Kartemquin Films celebrated its 50 year last year, the golden era that it got to go through. Now what's next on your agenda?
We have a double billing at the Chicago International Film Festival, 2 short films running back to back. One is called Edith and Eddie from director Laura Checkaway, and the other one is called 63 Boycott, which is directed by Kartemquin himself. Cher came on to be an executive producer of Edith and Eddie recently. She was so taken by the story. It's a story of the oldest interracial couple in America. They're in their 90s. It's a sad story, but it's so important. It's such an important issue going on in America, and these are characters that you just fall in love with. And the director, Laura Checkaway, was so committed to the story and portraying them in an honest and authentic way.
What did I love about Edith? Well, she was kind and considerate in talking to me, not the color of the skin, but the heart. That's what we decided.
I'm here because I don't want my school to close.
Why, Mom? Because I want to march for my freedom race.
In 1963, the schools in Chicago were very segregated.
Most of these schools that were closed are in Black and Latino neighborhoods. This is racist.
The Negro race has just as much right to exercise their talent as the white race.
We're taking our case to the street.
We're still protesting. But you gotta keep fighting.
How could they stop us?
63 Boycott will be making its world premiere at the Chicago International Film Festival, and simultaneously it will be running on the South Side for another screening the same day. It's the story of the 63 school boycott. Director Kartemquin was actually on campus at the University of Chicago during the 63 boycott, and he shot original film footage that he's using in this. And he compares it with, or he sort of really artfully interweaves it with the school situation going on 50 years later in Chicago public schools in 2013, when the decision to close 50 public schools, mostly on the South and West Side, was made. There's a Facebook page that was made about the film, and he and his producers, Tracy and Rachel, set about trying to identify actual individuals that were in the footage that he shot in 1963, so that they could contact them, see if they wanted to be a part of the film. And funny enough, one of the people who was identified when things were really heating up in the presidential primaries, because one of the people identified in the footage in the protest was Bernie Sanders.
Now you have these 2 films. You have 15 films total in production right now. That's a lot. What other films are you excited about?
Well, we have about 15 projects that are in anything from development through distribution in various stages of the production process. We have on November 10th, All the Queen's Horses opening up at the Gene Siskel Film Center. That's by first-time director Kelly Pope, who is a graduate of our Diverse Voices and Documentaries program. So we have a program at Kartemquin called Diverse Voices and Documentaries, and it is a program for mid-career filmmakers of color to come in and not so much learn the technical aspects of making film. These are people that know how to make films, but some of the information that's less accessible about distribution, marketing, fundraising, putting together the right kind of demo to use for fundraising. And we just had our graduation on Monday night down at the Logan Center at University of Chicago of our 12 fellows from 2017, and the work is amazing. Everybody's sample work is so compelling. We had a big pitch session with 5 national funders in June. They all got great feedback, and I know that some of these projects are going to go really far. Filmmakers of color in particular have a very difficult time getting their voices heard and getting projects really off the ground, and that's something we are really committed to at Kartemquin.
And in an industry where you work so hard and it's hard to even be seen or be given the opportunity to also help people have that opportunity is huge.
It's a really hard industry to break through, to really get your film attention, get funded, get distribution, how to market your film. It's really a complicated landscape, and it just keeps growing more complicated. The great news is there's more distribution channels than ever, and the flip side of that is there are more projects than ever, and really hard to get your project to break through. If you're just starting out as an independent filmmaker, you need to think really long and hard about how long it's going to take to get your project off the ground, and be prepared for a long haul in getting it funded, getting it produced, and finally getting it distributed. But if you're passionate about the subject matter, if you're passionate about your art, it can be done. And you know, it's certainly a noble, worthwhile, and needed art form. I mean, we like to say at Kartemquin, what we really are trying to spark is democracy through documentary, and the need for independent voices and diverse independent voices is more important than ever.